So you guys have been asking me for a little while, we need more Canada stuff. We need more UK stuff. I hear you. I've done it. The Oink for Influencers extension has implemented a bunch more functionality for our users across the pond or up north of us and here in the US. And even for you, Amazon.com, the US people, I've got some more functionality in here for you that's going to make the whole cross posting thing so much easier for you. In fact, I have now a comparison tool for you guys between the US and those other sites to see which videos you still need to make. So let me just jump into exactly what this is. I'm not even going to do my normal intro if you're an Amazon influencer and you don't have the Oink for Influencers extension. I'll put a link in the description down below. So first off, I'm currently on the Amazon.ca. We're on the Canada site, and you can see here we now have a toolbar with several options, and each video card has an edit icon, just the same as it is on the US side. If you click this, it's going to open up this in a new tab, so you can change the tagging, you can change the thumbnail, the whatever you want to change, you can change it. So now you can do that individually here. First thing you're going to want to do, as always, you do the storefront fetch. This is going to save your information on the Canada and the UK in their own specific storage buckets. Not going to be related to each other and not going to be interacting with the Amazon.com, the US side. So this is its own special bucket just for Canada and just for the UK. This pop-up still shows you can include the shoppable pictures or the ideal list. And to be honest, I haven't tested that yet. So by the time that this comes out, that might not even be in there. And if it's in there, it might not actually work correctly. But the video part will absolutely work correctly. So here we go. We've got my 49 unique videos. And what that allows me to do now is I can do the storefront health check. You guys know exactly what this is. If you're an Amazon.com user, you can now see which of your videos are not priced. So you can see here, all of these are not currently priced. So I need to go through there and try to retag those and see if I can bring them back to life. Now, I don't have a way yet to do the untagged because the UK and Canada doesn't have the same creator hub that the US site has. So for now, you're not going to see anything in the untagged. I'll keep taking a look into this, but I didn't want to hold the whole thing up if this not even going to be possible. Over tags, you already know what that is. I don't have any if you have too many products tagged on a video, but the main thing is the unavailable. So now you can do your health check and see which of your videos are not currently priced, and you can go in and actually do all the editing and everything from right here. Now there is a new functionality that's currently running here. It's the check ASIN availability. Now what this is for, this is actually for the US side, but we're going to run it on the Canada side, and then we're going to turn around and run it on the UK side. And then whenever we go back to Amazon.com, it's actually going to show us which products on Canada and in the UK we've already made our videos for. It's basically a quick way to reference like which ones do we still need to cross upload, and I'll show you exactly how that works in a second. So you're going to let this process run. Depending on how many ASINs you've got, it might take several minutes for this to go through the process. I also recommend that if you're going to do Canada and UK both, give yourself like a 5 to 10 minute break in between doing those. You're asking for a lot of information from Amazon all at once, and I don't want to see you get throttled and have to take a 30-minute break. So just give yourself a little bit of break between countries, depending on how many total videos that you've got. So whenever this is done, then we're going to go back to the Amazon.com side, and I'll show you what we've got there. Now with this new system, because we actually already cross-checked everything through that last feature, the check availability on Canada and UK, we no longer need to go through the Amazon.com side and incrementally check all of the videos in batches of 20. In fact, now what's going to happen is whenever you come back to your US storefront and you scroll, everything's already been checked for you, right? So from the top to the bottom, everything has been done. As you can see here, I got a lot of icons going on the screen now. And so this alleviates the need to do this thing over here, which was this. And then you would say, okay, then you're going to start doing your cross-checking, etc. You don't have to do that anymore. Everything's checked for you. So, but this is still going to remain on the page because this is going to be what you want to use when you add new content on, right? So like, let's say, for example, here at the top, if I added some new videos over the course of the next week, I could, instead of going back over to Canada and UK and doing that whole checking process again, I can just enable this and check the next 20 in list, and that way it would do the cross-reference. So you see a couple of other changes here. One is I have eliminated all of the pink borders on any of the videos that had Canada or UK. There is still a pink border, and I'll show you that in a second. But the other big difference you're going to see is now we have green buttons. So here's the way that this works, and I've changed the colors. So if it's a pink button, it's available, right? So if we scroll down through here, let's see if I can find me a pink button that says UK. Here we go. We got a pink Canada button. That means that this one is currently available. Green means that the ASIN in the video is already represented in your storefront on the other country. So for example, this one is green. That means you have already made a video in the UK that has this ASIN in it. All right. So if we look up here, here's one where we did it for Canada and the UK, where this ASIN already has a video over. So that means I've already uploaded a video on Canada and UK for this particular product. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's this specific video. If you're somebody that makes multiple videos for the same product, I don't do that typically, but if you're somebody that does that, there's not really a way to specifically cross-reference if it's if it's like this video, is it this one or is it the other one that I made? All this is saying is that this ASIN here has representation through a video on that other site. And for the most people, that's all they care about. They just want to make sure that they've got a video for this product on that other site. So you can see here a lot of green that I've already got going on. The yellow, as you can see here, still means unavailable, which means the listing exists, it's just not priced. If it doesn't have an icon, that means it's a completely dead listing. There's nothing on it. It is a dead page. So we have a lot of changes here. This green is really going to help identify what you've already done. So when you're looking on here and you're scrolling down through your list, you can see I don't really have anything to upload. This is green, so I've already done this ASIN. This one is unavailable. If you're somebody that wants to do unavailable things, you can do that. I just don't necessarily do that all the time. This one's done, so I would just keep scrolling in this case until I find some more pink, because that means that the ASIN does not have representation. So right now, this ASIN doesn't have representation in Canada, even though it is a viable listing. If I keep scrolling down through here, there's another Canada one. Let me see if I can find a UK one. Here we go. This one, the horse head mask, which of course, classic, has availability in Canada and UK, and I have no representation. I haven't uploaded a video yet over there. So that's what I want to do next. So this is going to make it so much easier for you guys to now see exactly what's going to be that needs to be uploaded still. There's another one. I need to upload this one over there. This one I've already uploaded in both. So this is going to really help you guys pinpoint what you should still be doing on those other countries to make sure that you have as much exposure from your US.com storefront over to those other ones. Now, just keep in mind, please don't do all of these at once. Spread them out over the course of a month or 2 months, because we did see people that Amazon slapped around a little bit because it said they did too much in a short amount of time, like a week or 2 weeks, and it was like several thousand videos that they had cross-posted. So take your time on these, maybe do a couple hundred a week, something like that, and work your way through that process. But yeah, this is going to make the whole thing so much easier for you guys. One more thing that I wanted to mention is if you go up here to the other actions and we go now to the Canada UK thing, it's a slightly different system, similar basically output here, but this has the complete list here as well. This for me is a little bit of an afterthought. It's really more for like referencing myself. The only time that this becomes probably handy is whenever you are working your way down through like your storefront and you have to scroll and scroll and scroll to find basically where you left off. Then the list might come in a little bit more handy to get like to some of those particular points. So, but primarily, I want you guys to be working out of your storefront. There's one other thing that I wanted to mention, if I can find it. I mentioned that there was still a pink border. There is, and it is now only going to be on the video that you marked last as mark as done, just so you kind of know where you left off. Now, you can actually now use the green representation buttons to give you an idea of where you left off at. Mine are kind of mixed all over the place because of the way that I was testing. But otherwise, if you click, there it is. This is the last one that I selected, mark as done. And so I've got a pink border around it. So that way I know whenever I want to start back up again, I can just come down here and start from right here and start working my way through. None of these have any availability. There's no surprise there, but there's some Canada. I got some Canada availability there. This one needs both. This one needs both. So looks like I got me some uploading that I got to do. And there's one other thing that's worth mentioning here is that as I'm going through here and as you're going through here and you're clicking the pink icons and you're updating, you're creating videos. In this case, let's say I created it on the Canada side, or like in this case, I created it on the UK side. These buttons are not going to automatically turn green for you right now until the next time that you do your storefront fetch on the Canada and UK sides. And then the next time you come here, they will be, because the colors here, the green colors, get updated only after your videos are on Canada or the UK, and then you run a storefront fetch again. So now we've got that information so that we can reference it from the Amazon.com site. So if you go through here and you do 20 or 30 videos, they're not going to turn green instantly. Get them uploaded to Canada, get them uploaded to the UK, and then do your storefront fetch again on each of those two platforms. And then whenever you come back here to the Amazon.com side and looking at your storefront, they actually will be green at that point. Now, this is sort of like version 2 of the Canada UK cross check. Whenever I implemented this a couple months ago, it was a brand new concept and it worked, but this is just like now the step up. By no means, though, do I think that this is the last step. I'll be including more implementation to do your cross checks. And honestly, part of this is also not just for cross checks, but it's like, look, you people in the UK and Canada, like, you deserve love too. You don't always have to be secondary to what's going on in the US. And so a lot of these tools that I want to be implementing are so that you guys can run your storefronts in those countries effectively and the way that you want, regardless of what's going on the Amazon.com site, because a lot of you may not even have Amazon.com coverage. So I want to make sure that I keep building out your side of the functionality to make sure that you can get the most out of your Amazon influencer journey. So again, thank you guys so much for the support. As always, please let me know what bugs you run into, any sort of issues, or any sort of continued feature requests, because I'm always open to that. And to be honest, a lot of what you've seen here is because people have been pushing me to do the Canada and UK stuff. So want to make sure to get that stuff out for you guys. So continued good luck. And as always, thank you very much for your support. Peace out.